we continue to reflect on the 2023 season and start to give a little bit of an eye to 2024. Let's go.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Please support the show by following on your preferred audio platform, and you can watch, subscribe, and leave a comment on YouTube. Thanks so much for making us your first listen. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. We are in this in-between zone of the regular season and the offseason, Sam, as we continue to review and reflect on the 2023 Chicago Cubs. The offseason calendar has not started yet, but the regular season takeaways and discussion is just getting started. Good to be back with you.
Thank gosh.
Was your Monday a little bit better? I mean, what's the mode?
Well, I had a good Monday, in a vacuum, not related to the Cubs. But I
did some cleaning.
I would say my mood is probably described by your facial hair right now, which is just kind of disarray.
Correct. It's a zoo over here, dude.
But no, I'm just kidding, but not really. No, Matt, I am in such a, I thought Sylvie on Waddle and Sylvie today, I was listening to that. I thought he put it beautifully. He summarized, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say because you haven't yet. I already have. So there's really no reason for me to kick this off. But I thought he really summarized my feelings beautifully by saying, and I'm paraphrasing, I think by about December or January, I'll look back on this season much more fondly than I do right now. But the taste is so fresh. And Sylvie said he's not going to use the word choke, but the word collapse is very appropriate. And
definitely.
And, when the wound is so fresh like it is right now, it's very, how I am. It's very hard for me to focus on anything else. Like today I was driving and I heard on the radio that Woodruff's going to most likely miss the postseason. Yeah. My mind immediately goes to what could have been.
Right.
And so, the solution for me is simple. I will not be watching any sports here for a bit. I have a new show that I'm going to be starting probably in the next 20 minutes. I'm going to get myself a nice I'm going to get myself a nice meal. I'm going to cuddle up on the couch with a blanket. I'm going to just pretend that nothing happened. And I am in what you call right now, I am in recovery mode from the last 6 months. But I am interested to hear what you have to say about it.
Well, Thursday was the end of the line for the Cubs in my mind. That Thursday game, that was it.
Yeah.
I quite frankly, I stopped checking. I stopped checking the scores.
Right.
This is a companion sport. I didn't wake up Friday morning or Saturday morning and go to my MLB app right away like I usually do.
I know. I miss it, man.
It's too bad. It was a disappointing finish. It was a collapse.
Yep.
But there also are positive takeaways, and we're going to get to those as the week moves along. But in my mind, there are three clear reasons why the Cubs didn't make it. And it actually wasn't only due to the collapse, which I think emphasizes, for better or worse, some things we said back in March. And we're even going to replay a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But they were – what's really hard to accept is that they were 92% chance to make the playoffs on September 6th following the sweep of the Giants.
Yep.
They were firmly in the second wild card spot. They were up by the third spot by 4 games, 4 or 4.5. And I was even doing some parody songs this weekend. They were up 4 games. They were up. I mean, it's just whatever I can do to numb the pain.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And the first thing I have to go to, and I have some graphics, is a lack of clutchness.
Sure.
They finished the year as the 6th worst clutch team in baseball. They were the 5th worst in September in hitting and 3rd worst in September in pitching.
May all over again.
Swanson, Bellinger, and Morrell were the biggest individual culprits in September. But the truth is the Cubs were bad in high leverage all season, excluding a stretch from July 18th to September 6th where they went 33-14. But even in there were some moments. But, that's only 29% of the year.
Right.
Great 47 games, but baseball is so long. And so the truth is, the whole year, March 30 to October 1, they were bad. Right. They were bad in high leverage. And to be good this year and to prove it to be a successful year or do things that maybe weren't exactly on the outline, exactly on the map on March 30th, you had to be better in high leverage, and they weren't. They were a negative rating most of the year. For a while, they were dead last in hitting and pitching. It'd be one thing if it was just at the plate after we got told, hey, pitching and defense, but they were awful. They were awful at pitching. In April and May especially. I'm going to get to those months in a couple of minutes.
Sure.
Run prevention issues. Jed Hoyer decided to build on pitching and defense. Their bullpen was bad to open the year. It was bad to close it. And the defense was surprisingly bad to close the year. What's with the 15 unearned runs in September? What happened?
A collapse.
And then to exasperate, vocab, to exasperate the run prevention issues, there was deficits on the margins. Yep. You did a great job reviewing and recapping on Monday's episode, and we only talked about this 30,000 times for a whole 12 months now.
Yeah, 12 months.
But that includes in-game decision-making by manager David Ross. And Sam, I don't mean to do a production meeting on the air. Yeah. We can't do a David Ross episode in November. No. We have to do the David Ross episode this week. We have to.
Absolutely.
This guy, I get it. I get he wants to improve. I get he's owning up to it. He's looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
I got news for you. Maybe get the Windex out and start cleaning the mirror a little bit.
Right.
Because there was issues with him in the dugout, and we need to get to it. And he's coming back. That's why we want to do the episode now. He's coming back. We can't do a Craig Counsell episode. We can't do a Bob Melvin episode.
Yeah.
David Ross is returning. So we're going to have to lean into that and figure that out. Number 3, meaningful losses early. This was a quintessential Sam Olber point back in February.
Right.
Before the balls were rolled out. The Cubs ended up losing a lot of this season just in the first 2 months. And if they were going to do well this year, a good start was required, we said. They didn't do that. And then there was a domino. As you said Monday, it was a domino because then really since June 9th, you've been in the playoffs.
Exactly.
And that ended up being detrimental, right?
And part of that as well, you're doing a great job, but part of that as well is they didn't identify the right guys out of the bullpen to start the year, which cost them a bunch of games in April. And just so you know, I did ask Ross to come on. I DM'd him actually today, and his response was...
He just laughed. He just laughed at your face.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. So sometimes I play it and it doesn't stop.
Well, you just gotta take off the loop. Yeah.
No, I'll see you.
No, stick around.
Okay.
But listen to this. And I don't mean
is this like another stat or?
Well, it is, and it's one that you might want to cover your ears.
I can't. I got headphones on.
They went 14-13 in April, but dude, 5 of those 13 losses were by 1 run.
Yep.
Then they went 10-18 in May. 6 of those 18 losses were by a run.
Man,
you almost can't make it up.
All right. So I can't. I'm not mentally there for this. So
I had to do this. I had to get it out.
No, you had to get it out just like I did on Monday. I respect it and appreciate it. So do our listeners. Let Can I tell you what I'm going to miss?
Sure.
Because I agree. I mean, everything. I don't need to say anything about what you said. Everything speaks for itself. It was wonderfully put. I mean, there's no everyone. There's just no. I just can't do it anymore. Like I just feel like I'm getting beaten over the head with my own misery. I'm gonna miss you. You know how you talked about waking up in the morning and checking the MLB app. I'm gonna wake up. Let me tell you the things I'm gonna miss.
Okay.
And what I'm so excited about when late March will roll around again.
March 28th.
Yeah. Waking up in the morning, checking the show, reading comments, responding to comments. Our typical between, let's say, 3 and 5 p.m. call that we usually have.
Right.
And the best part about those calls are no matter what happened the day before, we would convince ourselves.
There was a giddiness.
We would just even as most recently as Wednesday night.
Wednesday was a big one.
We would just rally ourselves almost.
Actually, it was Thursday.
Was it Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Thursday. We would just rally ourselves to get going for this club, and I'm gonna miss that. And just like it's just the weeks, because I don't really enjoy professional football.
No. Don't get me started.
The weeks are just it feels like there's a major hole right now. And so right. Obviously it's a negative, but the positive part about it is, even though this season obviously ended poorly, and that's an understatement, I'm still gonna be really excited for this all to start up again, because this was our first full year.
Yeah.
And obviously show wise, I thought it was just awesome.
Right.
And so, getting to do this again and now knowing what to expect, I think is good. I think is going to be really cool. So
I'm trying calls as well.
I'm trying, folks. You know what I mean? I'm trying. My resolution for the Jewish New Year was to be more positive. So
wow.
I'm trying. Somebody please get me some good news.
Coming up next, we dip our toe back into some preseason episodes from March and go over what we laid out for the year and match it up with what actually happened.
Can't wait to watch my show.
Bird Dogs makes you look good as we are in the midst of fall. October 2nd. Wow. Enjoy this time of year with Bird Dog shorts and pants. Bird Dog stretch khakis are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. They fit way better than regular shorts and pants that are made of a stiff, restricting cotton. Bird Dogs fixed this issue by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki but stretches so you get a slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. They also have anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. The best part also about Bird Dogs, all the giveaways they have. For the longest time, I've used the Yeti on the show. We'll have it again later this week. And right now, they're giving away water bottles with your purchase. birddogs.com/LockedOnMLB, or enter in promo code LockedOnMLB, and they will add in a free water bottle with your purchase. birddogs.com/LockedOnMLB. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise you.
Who do the Cubs play?
The regular season is over, but you can catch the entire postseason on SiriusXM. On the SXM app, you can listen to the radio call of your choosing from any of the playoff teams, or keep up with all the postseason discussion you could ever want with MLB Network Radio on Channel 89. I'll have to send you that promo, Sam. And quite honestly, it's a little bit sad to read that.
Well, and I'd just like to make an announcement as we're back on the program. I would just like to make an announcement. If I do end up gandering towards a little MLB playoffs, whatever game Boog's doing, I'm changing the channel. Go ahead.
Yeah, you haven't minced words on him all year. So.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I reviewed episodes from March 23rd and March 28th, and I have to say, I didn't find as much as I thought I would. We previewed a lot of things that proved to be keys for the entire 2023 campaign, and a lot of it actually matched what happened.
Did we do our win totals on any of these?
Yes, we did.
Did I? Okay, well, I guess I'm about to find out, because I thought I said 83.
83.
Yeah, I thought
I said 82.
Oh, wow. Cool.
My first takeaway is that we emphasized that while the rebuild was over, it was also not a window year, as
Yeah,
the Cubs were simultaneously competing in the present while trying to build for the future. So in terms of that, those two things did happen.
right.
They were competitive through game
Mhm.
161, technically, and they built for the future.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a window year. 2024 was really the big target.
And as I said on Monday's show, sometimes, though, expectations change when you have a 92% chance to make the postseason on September 6th. Go ahead.
And he did a nice job. He did a nice job of that. We weren't hung out on individual performances, but rather wins and losses, given the uniqueness and perhaps limitations of the roster. We said that while the Cubs were, quote, some of all the parts, close quote, and, quote, there are a lot of cooks in the kitchen, close quote, there was a level of variance that was unlike any other team in baseball. That's what we said, and that proved to be true.
Yeah.
Okay?
This is like a lie detector test.
We said 82 plus wins. Win more than you lose. I said 82. You said 83. They won 83. We said no selling at the trade deadline. No selling. In fact, they bought. Meaningful baseball year round, especially in mid-September. That was a roller coaster. It wasn't meaningful all year necessarily. They really had to dig out of the hole.
Right.
Okay. Ascension of the farm system into the top 5. Did you know that the Cubs system right now is number 1 according to FanGraphs?
I did not know that. I thought it was 3.
Number 1. Number 4 according to MLB Pipeline.
So average score of about 2.
But here's the scary part.
And a half.
We said 82 or 83 wins, but just listen to this 10 seconds right there.
God. First step, if we're just talking big league team in a vacuum without talking player development and all that stuff, it has to be over 500 to be considered successful. Of course, that path matters as well. Can you warn me when you're going to put up a horrible video of me? I look like I haven't slept in 6 weeks.
Let's watch and listen to that again.
First step, if we're just talking big league team in a vacuum without talking player development and all that stuff, it has to be over 500 to be considered successful. Of course, that path matters as well.
Well, you look the same. I look dreadful compared to that. But the path matters to that as well. That's the kicker. And the path did matter. Okay, it did.
You did a lot of research for this show.
It's too topsy-turvy.
Can I get some fish?
It was to the point where you would get sick on the ride. Right. You would get sick on the ride.
I did.
Right. Not physically sick, right?
No. This team made my stomach turn. Okay. There was way too many meals missed this season because of this ball club.
So there you go. But even just that 10-second clip, player, a success, but what is a success and what is positive? Listen, they collapsed, and there's maybe a silver lining, but they collapsed, and the path was not a good path. Okay, I get it's 162, but April and May started off so poor, climb out of the hole, and that proved to be just a drain on their system.
Yeah, look, let's just say this.
Hey,
the wound is fresh.
I know.
It's gonna take. It's gonna take. I'll speak for myself. It's gonna take me a couple. Usually, it's just a couple of weeks.
A couple months?
No, weeks.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna take me a couple of weeks to.
We'll be at the winter meetings in a couple months.
No. By the winter meetings, I'll be back in mid-season.
Well, we'll be on phone calls.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I just need a couple of weeks to kind of just.
Soto episode later.
I just need to just digest everything that happened, take a step back, be logical, because right now, when it comes to the Chicago Cubs, I feel disgusted. Okay. I am so sad. I honestly, I need a hug. I need a hug.
Wow.
You know,
Well, that will be the thumbnail title then.
Yeah. But, I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, and that's what everybody says. Hey, you go back, listen to your shows in March. This was the perfect season.
And I did.
Yeah, the path matters. The path matters.
It really does. It really does. What was that?
Just a little drink of Gatorade I'm having.
Well, coming up next, let's go over what we're going to go over in that next couple of weeks.
It's a glacier freeze.
Stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Yeah.
The NFL season is clearly underway, and there's incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use, and you can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. Okay, listen. What are the odds that Matt Eberflus is the first coach fired? Because if there was any scenario in which the Bears should buck their own trend and fire a coach mid-season, it would be yesterday. Okay? The Bears haven't won a game in almost 1 calendar year.
I really needed this.
And he can't even do a press conference.
Well, they're improving on a lot of things.
They ask him, where is Chase Claypool? I don't know. Did you tell him to miss the game? Did you tell him to stay home? Well, yeah, what?
No,
This was the guy they hired?
Well, it starts at the top.
Will they ever get a GM and coach right?
No.
Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn and get these offers you don't want to miss. FanDuel, the official partner of the Locked On Podcast Network and the NFL.
That was a brilliant ad read.
So much to discuss, Sam, over these next couple weeks. Individual games, individual players, including player grades and reviews. What went well, which was ultimately a lot, despite the collapse.
Absolutely.
David Ross, top prospects in the farm system, strengths overall. Of course, what is the outlook for 2024 paired with star player targets?
Right.
Pete Alonso, Juan Soto, Shane Bieber. We're going to go over them all.
Yamamoto from Japan.
Yamamoto.
I would like to. Can I just do a spoiler alert?
Yes.
I will be giving Trey Mancini a failing grade.
Okay. Well, we're not going to grade him. He hasn't been on the team in a while.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I thought we may have actually already graded him, honestly.
Yeah, and just another spoiler alert. I'm going to give Luis Torrens a failing grade.
Barnhart F. Hosmer F.
Yes, Barnhart, Hosmer, Rio.
Boxberger.
Keegan Thompson.
Right.
So, okay.
Wow. So yeah, that's
a lot of Fs. But there are some positives. There will be some A grades. We got a certain pitcher and a certain center fielder that's a free agent to be that will be earning probably pretty high mark.
What about the second baseman?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to give him that high of a mark.
But probably in the 80s, right? Like
yeah. Why don't we just do the whole show right now?
Also, shout out to my dad for running in the Cubs 5K.
Yeah,
this weekend.
Frank Cozy. That's a man that's in really good shape.
Yes, absolutely.
I couldn't run that right now. No.
I was a little spooked as
Wrigley. Yeah.
As I was waiting for him to enter the stadium in that final part of the race, and I was by myself with the employees, and I go, man, isn't it sad that there's going to be no more games here this year? Silence. I mean, I guess I should have assumed they're Cubs fans and they work for the team, but I'm just trying to create conversation. It was very odd. No response.
Yeah.
You work for the team.
I woke up Monday morning for my typical workout, and it did not go well. today
Okay.
for Tuesday, which was kind of I'm attributing that to the depression.
Right.
And hopefully I bounce back. Let's just say I ran about, I don't know, maybe about 4% of what your dad did. And I felt like I kind of ran, overseas. So,
or maybe in the mountains.
yeah. Or I just did like a marathon in Colorado or something with the altitude.
Right.
And speaking of Colorado, that's kind of where this doom all began. Okay. Well,
thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs.
Yeah, awesome.
Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and smash the like button for the algorithm. No clue what title I'm going to give this one. Also, catch us on Apple, Spotify, and streaming on SiriusXM. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.